Now that we've learned what a surface is in Civil 3D, points, and then the triangles that connect the points, let's go ahead and create a surface using Civil 3D points. We're going to go to our drawing and our exercises 0402 surface points. And you see within this drawing, we have many Civil 3D points already in the drawing. So what we're going to do, we're going to create a surface and use those points. You can create a surface from the Home ribbon, create ground data panel, choose surfaces, and select create surface. We're going to create a surface of the existing ground, so we're going to name our surface existing ground. It's always good to put a good description in here as well, information of where the surface came from, and maybe even the date of where that information came from. But notice that the surface layer is already set for us, as well as the style. The surface layer is being set from our object layer settings, and then our style is coming from our feature settings, default styles. So it's good, again, to remind ourselves that having those settings in place speeds up the work quickly by only having to just enter a name, everything else is ready to go. We click OK, we go to Prospector here, under Surfaces, we see our new surface has been created. Now it doesn't show up in the drawing because we haven't provided any points. Without any points, there's no triangles. Without triangles, you have no model. So let's add those points to our surface. So existing ground, I expand that out. I expand out definition. Here's a list of all the items that really play into defining our triangles. So what points and the information we can get those points from is connected with our point files, point groups, even getting information from the survey database or survey figures. We can even provide drawing objects, and it will read the drawing objects and the coordinates of start points and endpoints and so forth of AutoCAD objects to derive those points for the surface. Additionally, we'll provide information that will impact the triangles as well. Now, to begin with, let's go ahead and add our point group to create our surface. So I'm going to right-click and choose Add, and there's only one point group in the drawing, all points. This is a good reminder as well. This is another example where point groups would be very powerful. We could create a point group that has nothing to do with visual control of our points, but contains all of the points that have vertical data, data that would be useful for creating a surface. And we can name that point group just along that line of surface data. That way, we're not containing or grabbing all of the points. We're just grabbing the points that are specific to creating a surface. So we see the power of point groups in many different ways. But we're going to go ahead and use all points point group. We click OK. Now, because it had the points, it was able to create the triangles. Triangles, of course, give us the ability to display contours. So we have a good start here. We do have a bit of a spike, and we see why. We have elevations of 773 on one side, 779 on another, and 700s, 770s really seem to be the general elevation of the area. And right in the middle, we have an elevation of 0 on the point. We're not going to assume that's a bad shot. It could be a point that's just connected with a property boundary or something similar where vertical data wasn't important. So we can't delete the point. So we could create a point group and not have that point included in that point group. Another approach is by making some adjustments to the surface properties. I want to right-click on my surface in Prospector and choose Surface Properties. Now, from the Surface Properties, we're going to go to the Definition tab. In the Definition tab are the abilities to control options to define the surface. Some options are exclude elevations less than, exclude elevations greater than, control the maximum angle of your triangles, and so forth. We're going to choose to exclude elevations that are less than, and then we're going to set an elevation in here of 10. Well, we have elevations in the 770s. If there's any elevations that are included that are 10 or below, chances are they're arbitrary elevations and don't apply. So we're pretty comfortable with that. We click OK. It asks us to rebuild the surface. And now this point is completely ignored. Although it's in the point group that we've entered, it has chosen to ignore that because of some build options in our surface properties. So here's a good start, but there's more to it than just adding the points. We now have to also control the direction of the triangles.